Hit the share button. Help us get to 10,000 likes. We're going to get started in just a moment. Oh, my cowbell's broken. Alert the people, everybody. Johnny is here. Johnny is here. We are having some conversations. Alert the people. The Johnnies are coming. The Johnnies are coming. Hi, everybody. Again, if you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request and let's have a conversation about that. But as always, if you are voting about that. But as always, if you are voting, how's everybody doing today? Y'all having a good one? Hello, good morning, everybody. Hi, Desta. Hi, Lydia. BTS Army, I see you over there. How's everybody doing, folks and friends? If you are just tuning in, welcome to the live stream. If you're voting for Donald Trump, you're going to want to join the guest request so that we could have a conversation about that. Don't be scared. I'm a very nice guy. Donald Trump agrees. I'm very nice. Again, I mean, let's ask Donald Trump. Donald Trump, do you think I'm a nice guy? Johnny's very nice. You know, you look at China and you go to Russia and everybody agrees. Johnny's very nice. Some might say he's the nicest man I've ever met. Very nice. Very nice. Hello, everybody. Again, folks, if you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request and let's have a conversation about it. But if you are voting for Kamala Harris, hit that like button, hit the share button, help us get to 10,000 likes. Dave, oh my gosh. Hello, my beautiful friend. You have mod power now. Feel free. If you're tuning in, feel free. So again, folks, if you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request. If you're voting for Kamala Harris, hit that like button. We are almost at 10,000 likes. We're going to give it another 50, 60 seconds or so until we get started. We are going to get started soon. We're going to get started soon. It's going to be a great conversation today. Very nice. Very nice. How's everybody's start to your Saturday going? Y'all having a good one? Y'all doing good? Again, folks, if you're voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request. If you're voting for Kamala Harris, please keep hitting that like button. The fact you already got past 10,000 likes is kind of insane. Guys, if you keep liking the live stream this quickly, MAGA Republicans are going to start saying that we're stopping the steal, that we're liking too fast. You know, these likes are coming from China. Stop the count. All right, let's get up our first guest. Again, folks, if you're voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request. Hi, Uri. How you doing?
How are you doing, Johnny?
Doing good. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
No, I just wanted to apologize for beating you in Polly's battle.
That was you? No!
I've been trying to come up to be like, Johnny, I'm sorry. Don't listen. I'm extremely competitive.
No, it's fine.
Do it.
It's fine. It's fine. Because at some point, I'm going to battle Polly again. And there's going to be a term. The term is that you have to block Ari from the battle. I appreciate you coming up, Ari. It was nice meeting you.
That's not going to happen, but thanks, buddy.
I appreciate the love. Have a good one, okay?
Bye.
Happy Saturday. Let's get up our next guest, folks. If you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request. Let's have a conversation about it, okay?
Greetings.
Hello, are you voting for Donald Trump?
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
Tons of reasons, man. He's the far better candidate. He's more qualified.
Okay, let's stop right there. So this is like me asking you what kind of food do you like to eat, and you saying, I like the edible kind. You got to break down some ingredients here, right? Like, give me a recipe. You can't just say, oh, I think he's the better candidate. Like, yeah, if you're voting for him, you obviously think he's the better candidate. So can you make it make sense?
Yeah, every single way possible, man. His policies, his pandering policies. That you might call
like when he panders.
Are you going to let me speak? No, his pandering policies. Well, because everybody panders, man.
But you're saying that that's a good thing?
Are you new to this?
Okay, I think you're confused.
No. Are you going to let me speak?
No, probably not.
Is this how you do it?
Can you tell me, listen, stop complaining. You got tied up.
This is how you debate?
All right, here's what we're going to do. You got tied up. You got upset. You said that you like that Donald Trump panders. Those words just came out of your mouth, and that's going to make a phenomenal video for TikTok later. Did I forget to mention that this is filmed? What are his policies? Can you start off with an economic policy that Donald Trump passed that benefited middle-class Americans? Whenever you're ready, go ahead.
So are you going to let me speak?
Yes, answer that question.
Okay, no, I'm going to speak, okay?
Oh, no, you're going to answer that question. So again, tell me one policy that Donald Trump passed that economically benefited the middle class, okay? Go ahead.
Putting words in my mouth.
Are you voting for Donald Trump, yes or no?
You're putting words in my mouth.
Are you voting for Donald Trump, yes or no?
Absolutely.
Okay, so now answer the question. Can you tell me one policy he passed that economically benefited middle-class Americans? Whenever you're ready. Can you hurry up? We don't have all night. Do you need to Google?
Are you going to stop muting me? You're a faggot, bro. You're a fucking faggot.
There's the hate crime. Oh, he ran away too. Wow. No! Let's get some cow emojis in the chat. No! We got a runner. We got to herd the cattle, everybody. We got a runner. Yo, I'm already getting hate crimed up. I'm not gonna hate crime. Like, I'm not gonna get hate crimed up here for free. Somebody drop a 20. That's some nonsense right there. That's insane. They come up. He literally said that Donald Trump panders and that's why he's voting for him. Then I pointed it out. He got upset and calls me the F slur. Come on now. What's that? Let's get some cow emojis in the chat. Hey, I see that some folks are using the new subscriber stickers for the cows. That's awesome. Queen Zombie. Gotta love the cow stickers. Hello, Jersey. You voting for Donald Trump?
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Depends. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Easiest decision of my life, my friend.
Yeah, you still haven't given a yes or a no.
Donald J. Trump, yes.
Okay, see?
See? Yeah, I see.
So why are you voting for a criminal, felon, sexual abuser, and civil fraudster? I feel like it probably shouldn't have been the easiest decision in your life whether or not you should vote for somebody who committed sexual abuse, but apparently that doesn't faze you. Why does sexual abuse not faze you?
Now, I know you like to see yourself talk, but if I was a brainwashed human being, I might feel the same way you are. But being that I think for myself, being that we have a 4-year track record under Donald Trump, being that we have a 4-year go ahead, talk. I know.
Yeah, let me get this right. You're saying you think for yourself, and you're saying it was an easy decision for you to nominate a sexual abuser to be the Republican nominee for president. Maybe you should consider stop thinking for yourself, and maybe it's time that you do have somebody else think for you, because if you thought for yourself and your thought was, hey, it's a good idea, let's put a felon into the presidency, let's put somebody who committed sexual abuse and treason into the presidency, maybe it's time to talk to somebody about that. Maybe recommend a therapist. Okay, so anyway, why are you voting for the criminal?
Now, again, I know you got your soapbox on your little TikTok. You like to hear yourself talk. You roll your eyes. You think you're cute. I get it, brother. But again, we have a track record.
Stop the crying. Just hurry up and answer the question.
I'm smiling here from here, my man.
Can you just hurry up and answer the question?
What's your question?
You even hear the question? See, here's the issue with you.
Yeah, I hear that.
It's always projection. I ask you a question. I say, can you tell me a policy that you enjoyed during Donald Trump's first term?
What's your question?
All right, here's what we're going to do. You're on mute. Stay on mute. Let's set a term here. I'm trying to engage in a conversation with you, and you are projecting and crying. You say that I'm on a soapbox, but you won't let me speak. I ask you a question, and you're so far up the soapbox's ass that you quite literally didn't hear the question I asked you. Okay? So stop the projection, stop the crying, stop the passive aggression. This will be my final time engaging with you on this. If you don't answer the question, I will move on to the next guest. You are really not a priority to me. You are kind of like a side quest, right? So again, why are you voting for the criminal? Can you talk about his policies?
Sure. So 4 years under Donald J. Trump, where human beings, Americans can afford groceries, can afford housing. It was $77,000 a year you had to make under Donald Trump to afford a house. Today it's $143,000.
That's not true. First off, let's start off with groceries. What's the inflation rate today?
It's not true, sir.
No, that is not true. You're blatantly lying. And if not, go get me a stat. The second point I want to talk about here.
Give me 2 seconds. I'll get you a stat.
Excuse me, get your ass back in here. I'm asking about inflation. You don't run away. What is the... Oh, you don't call me that. First off, the inflation rate is 2.4% today, 2.4% under Donald Trump, and it's decreasing to 2.1%. I'm trying to talk to you about groceries, but you're trying to pivot already. So can you tell me if the inflation rate is 2.1% today and the inflation rate was 2.4% under Donald Trump, why are you associating higher costs on groceries with Joe Biden? The inflation rate is lower today than it was under Donald Trump. So that means the Biden-Harris administration did their part to decrease costs. But you're saying groceries are higher. I mean, break that down. If it's not because of Biden-Harris, why might groceries be higher today? Answer, go ahead.
Now, again, I know you're getting upset because I proved you wrong with a stat.
Oh my gosh, you didn't provide a stat. I just debunked your stat.
Do you not understand?
All right, we're moving on. I just debunked your stat. What are you talking about? Like, I'm not fucking engaging with him. That's insane. He goes, I just proved you wrong with the stat. I just proved that your stat was wrong. The inflation rate today is 2.1%. It was 2.4 under Donald Trump. So
Trump is king.
Okay, that's not culty at all. So that means that your stat was debunked, right? Inflation's 2.1% today. It was 2.4 under Donald Trump. Inflation's lower today. Huh? So Larry, hi. Why are you in a cult?
So I am voting for Trump. I mean,
Yeah, because you're in a cult. So why are you voting for a criminal sexual abuser and civil fraudster? Oh, he ran away. We got a runner. Moo! Let's get some cow emojis in the chat. Moo! Yo, I can't believe that these MAGA Republicans are this emotional. They're like, I proved you wrong with the stat. Sir, you named a random stat and it was wrong. And then I debunked it with the inflation rate. And you're like, haha, I proved you wrong. Bitch, I just told you the stat. What? All right. Megs, hi. You voting for the criminal?
Hi, no, I just wanted to praise you for putting up these dumbasses.
Love you. I appreciate it. Listen, again, we always got to get through the crazy ones before we get to some of the more normal ones, but I don't mind it. I really don't mind it. You know? Folks, if you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request. Let's have a conversation. If you're voting for Kamala Harris, hit that like button, hit the share button. Help us get to 100,000 likes, and please share the live out as well. Hello, Jeffrey. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Yes, I am.
Gotcha. And why so?
Just because of actions speaking louder than words, and the 4 years we had.
Yeah, actions speaking louder than words. Are you talking about how, like, he said he was going to replace the ACA, but his actions suggested he didn't because he didn't? Or how he said he was going to build the wall, but then his actions were as though he didn't because he didn't? Or how he said Mexico was going to pay for the wall, but they didn't? Or how he said, oh, we're going to give an infrastructure package into placement, but then he didn't. So yeah, his actions do speak louder than his words. He said he was going to accomplish something for the American people, but his actions prove that he didn't accomplish the infrastructure package, a replacement to the ACA, or the wall.
Kind of like
so right.
Kind of like Kamala and Joe paying back all the college. Paying back all the college.
They did
money,
but they did. You said student debt forgiveness.
No, they
put a
Not
plan
all
on the ground. Oh, thank you so much, Lisa, for the love. I appreciate it. So actually, they put out a plan to forgive student debt, and it's Pamela just sent me $25, Jeffrey, because she says that she hates you. So thank you so much, Jeffrey, for being so easily hateable, and thank you so much, Pamela, for the love. So let's get back into this. So can you tell me one policy that Donald Trump did pass that economically benefited middle-class Americans?
No, not off the top.
Amanda, thank you so much for the $10. Amanda says 3 more days. Let's go. I hate Jeffrey. Thank you so much, Amanda.
That's pretty much what it is. It's 3 more days.
Can you tell me the economic policy that Donald Trump passed that benefited middle-class Americans?
When Kamala loses, what are you going to do for a living?
Can you answer the question?
What are you going to do for a living?
I'm going to go back to my day job. Excuse me. I'm answering you. I'm going to go back to my day job as George Soros' mistress. So anyway, can you answer the question now? What is the economic policy that Donald Trump passed that benefited the middle class? Whenever you're ready, you don't need to keep pivoting.
There was plenty, but I also
Name one.
feel like
Name
like
one.
when he gave the tax breaks to the rich.
What was the tax breaks to the rich? What was the tax cut he gave to the rich?
Yeah, but he gave.
Excuse me. What was the tax cut that Donald Trump gave to corporations?
I'm not sure.
Okay,
but
wow.
I
So
know
then why
that,
would you bring it up if you don't know the tax cut? I'll tell you. So it was 14% to corporations. Can you tell me the tax cut that Donald Trump did give to the middle class? Because he did give a tax cut to the middle class, but you're suggesting he didn't, which is odd because you're the MAGA Trumper, right? I'm the Democrat, and even I'm admitting he gave a tax cut to the middle class. Why are you acting like he didn't?
No, he did.
Okay, so what was it?
Also,
But what was it?
I don't know it off the top of my head.
Okay, so then listen instead of trying to speak, and you'll learn something, right?
The trickle-down effect is appropriate because it did work. When you tax the rich a lot, it trickles down to the middle class. Now, whether you think it's true or not,
right? It's not. So this is a hypothetical. Let's recognize that Donald Trump gave a 1 to 2% tax cut. You need to. First off, I want to say, Jennifer, thank you so much for the $5. Jennifer just sent me $5 to mute you, Jeffrey, so you are on mute now. Again, so that middle class tax cut was 1 to 2%, and it expires next year. You're still under this tax plan, mind you. Donald Trump gave a 14% corporate tax deduction to those at Microsoft who are already making record high profits, mind you. But what's more important to recognize here is that Donald Trump's 14% corporate tax deduction led to an $8 trillion debt, and the middle class pays for that. So you are losing more out of pocket than you retained from his 1 to 2% tax cut. And this isn't new territory with Donald Trump, right? He says it's business, but it's not business. It's scamming the middle class. And you're talking about, well, trickle-down economics will take effect someday, but it didn't. For example, Donald Trump gave the 14% corporate tax deduction to Apple, for example. But Apple passed up the money to their CEO, who walked away with more money by the end of Donald Trump's term than they walked in with at the get-go of the new administration. Or PepsiCo. PepsiCo passed the money up to their CEO, but then they went ahead and increased the cost of Gatorade and shrunk the size 2 to 4 ounces. So they didn't cut costs. They didn't give it to the middle class. They hiked up costs and passed it up to their CEO. And we see this again. Look at Reagan's administration. He played with trickle-down economics, right? This isn't a hypothetical. This is the third time we've seen trickle-down economics in effect. The first time was with Reagan, and that led to George H.W. Bush's recession. Bless him. Hope he's living well on the other side. But let's recognize George H.W. Bush, he didn't cause that recession. Reagan did. Reagan's trickle-down economic policies caused that. Or look at George W. Bush, played with trickle-down economics. Gave us a market crash and a borderline Great Depression. Okay? So, Jeffrey, let's not act like trickle-down economics works. It doesn't. Can you tell me about Donald Trump's tariffs?
No, I cannot. But ultimately,
I can.
So
Donald Trump gave.
What had happened?
Do you want to hear about the
4 years
tariffs?
That he was president.
Do you want to hear? Oh,
everybody
thank you
had
so
more
much,
money.
Mag. Mag just gave me $10 to meet you. So sorry, you're back on mute. Thank you so much, Mag, for the love. I appreciate it. Jeffrey, you're so easily dislikable that people are supporting me. And I appreciate the support, folks, because that fund goes towards electing Democrats. And we're going to continue fighting and traveling the swing state of Pennsylvania to turn out the vote. Jeffrey, frankly, at this point, you might as well consider yourself a Democrat, because the amount of folks chipping in to support me so I could support other Democrats across the swing state of Pennsylvania, I mean, you're single-handedly going to be winning this election for Kamala. So, tariffs, let's talk about that. Oh, he ran away! He recognized that he was screwing up. Let's get a cow emoji in the chat. We got a runner. Moo! Oh, he ran away. He knew that he was being counterproductive. He's like, oh shit, I'm electing Democrats, and he ran out of there real quick. I was just about to talk about his tariffs. What happened? Aw. Hello, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Hi, can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, awesome. I want to give you a little bit of good news. Are you ready for this? Can you hear me? Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'm just looking at some early voting. This is out of Georgia. And no, I'm not voting for Trump. But this is just analytical. This is not a, pro-Trump, pro-whatever. This is just reality. Mm-hmm. 76.6% of all of the 2020 vote from Georgia from last election cycle has already been, the numbers are already at 76% from the last election, meaning early voting in Georgia has almost exceeded the total amount of votes in Georgia as of from 2020. Okay.
That's wild right there.
Which is crazy. This is true. Now, if you break it down.
No, quick question. So I've been paying a lot. And I want to go through this quick because I want to get up on excess. I've been paying close attention to Texas, so that's on me for not looking at Georgia much. Mm-hmm. Because I want to check this out afterwards. What's your like back source for it?
Don't waste your time on Texas. Texas is a lost cause.
I'm looking at Colin Allred. I'm not looking at statewide Texas.
It's a pipe dream for anyone to think that you just
Colin Allred is not a pipe dream.
Which one?
Colin Allred beating Ted Cruz, that ain't a pipe dream.
Oh, no,
split ticket voting. Okay, I was going to say, statewide win and go blue. Yeah, that's a pipe dream, but Colin's not.
But here's let me get back to Georgia really quick. So 3.8 million votes have been cast in Georgia so far. 59% of them are women. Okay. 43% are men. The age group, this is for women, between 50 and 79 is the largest block of voters for that, okay? And then for 18 to 24, which is really encouraging, 18 to 24, there have been 272,000 votes for women in Georgia. And I'm going to tell you this right now. It's just numbers, guys. You just have to look at numbers. You can't look at polling. Polling is nonsensical. The only time a poll matters is when it's a giant blowout. Meaning,
Yeah. Well, I want to get up our next guest. I appreciate you coming up. Thank you so much, man.
You're very welcome.
Thank you for the information, folks. I will also say a massive shout out to Georgia. You folks are doing amazing work, but also a massive shout out to those of y'all in Texas. I know that there's a lot of split ticket voting over there. We saw the same situation back in like 2022 in Pennsylvania, for example, and also in Pennsylvania in 2020 as well. Y'all, there's a good chance that y'all flip Colin Allred's seat. Good for you folks. Like you have analysts in a tizzy because they don't even know how to define your state right now because all the split ticket voting. So good for you folks. You're doing really well. Zach, hi. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Yeah, but I'm.
Oh wait, hold on 1 second. Fetus deletus, poof, and he's gone. Oh, the magic is real in America. The magic is real. The magic is real. Woo! Hello. Brian.
Can you hear me?
Depends. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
I am.
Gotcha. And why are you voting for a criminal? How old are you, by the way?
22.
Okay. Is this your first presidential?
No, I voted for Trump last election.
Gotcha. And so this time around, now he's a convicted felon, sexual abuser, civil fraudster. And you said, yes, that's even better than the last time. So why are you voting for the criminal?
I don't agree with Kamala's policies.
Who is Kamala?
The vice president.
Kamala?
Harris.
Oh, you mean Kamala Harris.
Kamala, whatever.
It's not really whatever, right?
Right.
Amanda, thank you so much for the love. I appreciate the $10 on Venmo. Well, that was really quick. Amanda just dropped $10 to tell you that you're ignorant. But thank you, Brian, for being ignorant. So anyway, Brian, can you tell me again one policy that Donald Trump has passed that maybe benefited middle-class Americans economically?
The tax cuts.
Okay, what was the tax cut that Donald Trump gave to corporations?
Well, this time around, the tax cuts are going to be better.
I'm asking what he gave to corporations. What is the tax cut percentage he gave to corporations?
I'm not worried about the corporations. I'm worried about my pockets.
Let me redefine this question for you. This is not a question where you get to choose whether or not you're going to answer. You have to tell us how much of a percentage did Donald Trump give to corporations in their tax cut during his first term? If you can't name it, say you can't name it, right? If you can name it, then say the number.
I will put it this way. I can't name it, but
okay, it's 14%. How much? It's not at the end of the day. This is important. Let's not belittle that. It's 14%
for me.
It
doesn't
is.
affect me.
It literally did and does. So what was that? Because you're still under this tax policy as of today. What is the tax cut he gave to the middle class? Wow, you don't know that either. 1 to 2%. So let's better understand this. You stand on the economy and yet you don't know a single thing about his first term economically. That's odd considering you voted for him last time. Let's better understand this. He gave 1 to 2% to the middle class, 14% to corporations, and this led to an $8 trillion addition to our national debt. And who's paying that off?
Oh, I suppose we are.
Correct. We are. So Donald Trump's next policy includes a 60% tariff on China, 10% tariff across the board, could be 20%. And he wants to re-implement additional tariffs like the 15 to 25% tariff he implemented during his first term, which led to a $230 billion increase on taxes and grocery costs through produce. This led to farmers, for example, having an export crisis, causing a surplus in supply and demand issue for small businesses and middle-class consumers, and hiked up costs. So this estimates, according to Penn Wharton economists from Donald Trump's own alma mater, to an additional $3 trillion in our national debt and $2,500 to $4,000 coming out of the pockets of middle-class Americans every single year. Why do you want to take money from the middle class?
I'm not worried about all that. What I want to talk about
You're not worried about all that. Why do you want to take money from the middle class? Your candidate wants to take $2,500 to $4,000 out of the pockets of middle-class Americans every single year, and an additional $3 trillion on top of the $8 trillion he's already taken from us. Why do you want to take money from the middle class?
Trump was also hit with the COVID, so that threw a wrench in everything as well.
No, but that has nothing to do with what he just said. Right? That has nothing to do with what he just said.
I hear you, but I want to talk about the border.
I would love to talk about the border. Can you first concede that you're advocating for a candidate who wants to take money from the middle class and who has a record of having took money from the middle class, like the $230 billion tax hike on produce and the $8 trillion debt?
Yep.
Okay, as long as you concede on that. So say it.
All right, so Kamala, or however
Say
you want to
Donald
say it.
Trump is taking money from the middle class. Go ahead.
I'm not saying that.
Well, you're conceding on it, so you have to say it, and then we can move on. We're not going to pivot until you actually concede on this.
All right, Donald Trump's taking fucking money from the middle class.
Damn right. Okay, continue. Let's move into the border.
All right, so she's letting all these people in, right? Where are they going to work?
She's letting all these people in. What are you talking about?
She's opening the borders.
How? How is
Okay,
she
so
opening the borders?
anybody can come in the country right now.
I'm sorry. If she was opening the borders, why in, for example, Texas is Greg Abbott not closing them then?
Because Texas doesn't listen to her.
Right, but if Texas doesn't listen to her and she's opening the borders, why would Greg Abbott not listen to her and then close the border?
So what's her policy on
So
the
let me say
borders
this
then?
again. You just said she's opening the border. Okay, if she's opening the border, then why isn't Texas closing the border? You just said that Texas doesn't listen to her. I agree. So then why doesn't Texas close the border then?
They've tried.
What do you mean? What have they tried? Desta, thank you for the $5. I appreciate the love, Desta. Thank you so much. Can you tell me what did they try?
To stop people from coming in.
Okay, how? So you're saying she opened the borders, and I'm saying, okay, if she opened the borders, states are capable of closing the borders.
You're
Why
avoiding
didn't
my
Texas
question.
close it?
You're avoiding my
I'm
question.
pointing out a simple flaw, right? Your logic, you just said that Kamala opened the border, and I'm telling you, wouldn't that be impossible? Because the states like Texas, which is a Republican stronghold, could easily turn around and say, oh no, we're going to close that border. And they have the power and ability to do so. So why aren't they closing it? And you're saying they tried. Well, what did they try?
Oh. You're
See,
avoiding
here's
my
the
question.
thing. It's not, I'm not avoiding anything. You're avoiding what I just said. Stop the projection. Oh,
Well,
Miriam,
you
thank you so much for the
avoided mine.
$5. Miriam, thank you so much for the $5. I appreciate it. Miriam just dropped $5 to mute you. So I'm sorry, you're on mute. You can unmute whenever you want, though. Miriam also wants me to tell you that you are very ignorant. Well, actually, that's not what she said, but I'm not going to say what she said. Sorry, Miriam. So I'll just be kinder and say that Miriam says you're ignorant. You're welcome for that, Brian, because you didn't want to hear what Miriam had to say on that one. So let's get back into this. Again, the borders are not open. You understand that? Which is why you can't answer the question as to why Texas wouldn't take action to close the border. Because they don't need to, because the border's closed. And if Kamala Harris did open the border, then can you tell me how she opened the border?
What's her border policy?
We can talk
My
about her
original-
border policy, but I just asked you a question.
My original question that you've been avoiding.
You're going to dodge it?
Like you're dodging mine?
I'm not dodging your question. You're just trying to pivot away from a simple logic issue you just explained.
You're answering my
Listen,
question.
you started
Which
off
question?
you started off your question by saying that Kamala opened the border. And I'm making very clear that there's no logic in that, because if she opened the border, why wouldn't Texas, a Republican state, close the border? They have the state authority to do so. And you can't justify why they wouldn't close the border because it's already closed. That's the answer. They don't need to close it. It's already closed. And then I said, okay, if Kamala did open the border, can you tell me how she did so? And you can't answer. So let's recognize that. Now let's get back to the original question. Would you repeat it? Thank you.
What
I want to say a massive thank you from a fellow Italian America. Lisa, what's up? W's to our Italians in the chat, by the way. Lisa, thank you so much for the love on Cash App, and Leon as well. Love you right back, Leon. Thank you so much. Do we got any Italians in here? W's to our Italians in the chat. Good to see y'all. All right, Brian, one more time.
What are her policies on the border?
Yeah, let's talk about this. If I tell you Kamala's policy and Donald Trump's policy, will you tell me what you do and don't agree with for both?
Agreed.
Okay, now do you know what Donald Trump's is before I start this process, or no?
We'll go with build the wall.
Okay, so for Donald Trump, let's start off. Do you want to build the wall, yes or no?
I think it's a little excessive, but if it's what we need to do, it's what we need to do.
Okay. Do you want to pay for 2,000 salaries for border agents to monitor Donald Trump's wall?
I'm already doing it, so why not?
What do you mean you're already doing it?
Yeah,
You know
they
that
take-
those border agents aren't there yet, right? This would be... What?
I'm already paying out through the roof on taxes, so what does it matter?
Okay. Donald Trump says, this is probably better if I apologize. Let me get he did this as like a show and tell sort of thing. So I'm going to say it exactly how he said it. Hopefully this makes sense. If it didn't really make sense to me, y'all let me know. So Donald Trump says, if you have a water bottle and you have 2 illegal channels to immigration and you cut that off, you fill up the water bottle, right? With all the legal channel. At some point, you have to put a cap on the water bottle or limit it so it doesn't overflow with legal immigrants. So he says he wants to put a cap or limit on immigration. That's exactly how he explained it in that video he had posted. Is that what you want to do? Do you want to do that?
Nah, just what I want is...
Hold on. I'm not asking you what you want because it's not what you want. It's these 2 candidates and their policies, right? So it's just a yes or no. Do you agree with Donald Trump limiting immigration with that water bottle thing he did?
Sure. Yep.
Okay. Do you want to block? We're almost done on his, and then we're going to talk about hers. And I hope you have the same respect for her as well. Do you want to block illegal ILL? These are not legal. Even I agree with this one. Okay. He's saying he wants to block illegal immigrants from seeking asylum. So if somebody comes here illegally, gets detained, they can't just scream, "I'm seeking asylum," and then get catched and released. He's saying that we're going to detain and deport illegal immigrants who are claiming asylum, who are not actually asylum seekers. Do you agree?
I agree.
Okay. I also agree with that. I think that makes a lot of sense. Last one. He wants to give, we're talking millions upon millions of dollars to border states to secure the border how they see fit. So you had brought up, for example, Kamala has an open border policy. He's saying he's going to give more money to Texas to close the border if they feel, or though, like if a crack or crevice is missed in his wall, that they can secure the border how they see fit. He calls it states' rights. Do you want to give them that money?
No.
Did you say yes or no?
No.
Okay. So then let's understand. So you support the wall, the 2,000 border agents, the cap on immigration, the block on illegal asylum seekers. You don't want to offer money to border states. And that's the only discrepancy in that policy. Are you ready to talk about Kamala's?
Yes.
Okay. That was Kamala Harris's border policy, not Donald Trump's. You just endorsed 4 out of 5 policies. The only policy you didn't agree with was that you wanted to defund states like Texas who are requesting the support. So here's what we're going to do. Before you get agitated, before you get angry, before you start deflecting, come back in, pretend you're chill. Just pretend like you're calm. Do whatever you got to do. I want to continue going about this conversation in a calm manner, but let's recognize that you did just indeed endorse Kamala Harris on the border policy. You did that all on your own. So I'm just going to take out the cowbell and we're all going to celebrate while you're on mute. Wow, we got a dum-dum here, everybody. He really just endorsed Kamala Harris on the border. Yeah! Let's get some cow emojis in the chat. Woohoo! Let's get, where's our pigs at? We got it right here. That's amazing. Oh my gosh. Woo-hoo! We got to herd the cattle. All right. Sorry, but you could rightfully see why we have to celebrate. I mean, walked into that. Okay, let's get back in. Let's keep this conversation calm. So, will you now endorse Kamala Harris on the border? Brian? Brian.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Great. So say it. Say, my name's Brian and I endorse Kamala Harris on the border.
I'm not saying that.
But you just did. You endorsed her border policy. So will you endorse Kamala Harris on the border whenever you're ready?
I'll never be ready.
Oh, okay. So you're a hypocrite. Can you at least then say, my name's Brian and I'm a fucking hypocrite? Like, come on, man. Are you a hypocrite or are you going to own up to what you just did? Are you a hypocrite or are you going to own up to it?
We'll go with the hypocrite.
All right. I know you are. I want to say a massive thank you to Esmeralda for the $20. Esmeralda just dropped it. Dropped the 20. She says, and I quote, "Wow, Brian's dumb." Thank you, Esmeralda. I agree. So let's get back into this. Do you know what Donald Trump's policy actually is? Yes or no?
Not fully.
Wow. He's running on mass deportation. He's not even running on the wall anymore, which, mind you, he said that he was the first to introduce the wall, and that's not true. George W. Bush introduced the wall. Barack Obama built 400 miles of the wall. Donald Trump built 50 miles because he couldn't negotiate the funding to allocate funds for the construction of said wall. So he's running on mass deportation. Do you know what that process is?
Walk me through it.
Okay. So MAGA Republicans believe mass deportation is a quantity, and this is where they're wrong. And this is exactly why Donald Trump and J.D. Vance refuse to tell everybody what the process of mass deportation is at both presidential and vice presidential debates. Mass doesn't mean that you're deporting on a higher quantity, okay? Because we're not, for example, catching illegal immigrants or undocumented immigrants and letting them go. Once somebody is caught, they're detained and deported, right? And we don't have a catch and release policy. So mass isn't a quantity, it's a process. It means that you're finding more illegal immigrants by using certain processes that are typically not implemented in states that believe in liberty and justice for all. For example, the last time we saw mass deportation policies underway was in World War II in Germany. Mass deportation is when you use the military or law enforcement, whichever is to your liking. They'll probably call it border security. And you have them knocking on, for example, the doors of small businesses to see if those small businesses are employing. Brian, you left the live. Are you running away? Should I get my cowbell? Should I get my cowbell? Brian? Brian? So yeah, for those of you guys who don't know, mass isn't a quantity, it's a process. Mass means process. M-A-S-S doesn't mean quantity, it's a process. Mass is a process. It's when you, oh, he ran away. Let's get some cow emojis in the chat. Moo! We got a runner! We got a runner! Woo! We got a runner! Moo! Let's get those cow emojis in the chat, please. So just explaining that mass deportation process. Again, that is not a quantity, that is a process. And that is when you have, for example, immigrants being detained in small businesses or homes. And then you also weaponize your own justice system against those who are harboring the illegal immigrants, whether they knew it or not, by prosecuting them. So for example, if you have a family, right, that has a chef, this could be a wealthy family and they have a chef, you would have the military knock on that homeowner's door, request documents, and if they don't have the documents, that chef is detained and deported, and that family is prosecuted for employing them. That is not okay. You especially prosecuting the family. Huh? Okay. Jay, hi, are you voting for Donald Trump?
Yes, I am.
Wow, you must hate yourself. How old are you? Jay?
Excuse me, what?
How old are you?
What did you say? Oh, 22.
When were you born?
2002.
Gotcha. And why are you voting for a convicted felon?
First of all, because all his convictions were made up and they have to do mental gymnastics to like change the law in New York. Yeah, you can say whatever you want, but I saw
No
the whole
laws
process.
were changed. And also,
Yes,
let's
well,
recognize, pardon me, I want to say, Valente, thank you so much for the $5. Valente told me to tell you that you're ignorant. Thank you so much, Valente. I appreciate the love. And thank you, Jay,
We're all
for being
ignorant to
ignorant.
different things, so
I appreciate you being ignorant because it just made me $5. So tell me again, you're voting for the criminal and you say that, oh, it's what, political persecution? Is that what you're suggesting?
yeah,
is that what you're suggesting?
actually, if you're seeing in the one for the properties, now the defense.
I like
is
your accent. Where's it from?
From Cuba. They're basically crying for the.
No,
new
Donald Trump's
court
not a
from
fan
the-
of you. Donald Trump ain't a fan of you.
According to you, because I came here legally. So that's just
You can come here
misinformation.
legally all you
You're
want.
wondering.
Listen, let's take a step back. You can come here legally all you want. After you vote for Trump and you make him your president, I'll still be laughing at you from the other side of the wall. So let's better understand this then. You're saying that Donald Trump was the victim of political persecution? Okay. All right, here's the issue with that logic. Hunter Biden is also a convicted felon, and he is more politically relevant than Donald Trump. So wouldn't Hunter Biden too be a victim of political persecution?
Oh, Hunter Biden, after they hide everything on 2020, and now they put in it out when it's not relevant anymore, and because Joe Biden dropped out of the race, yeah, sure, and they're trying to make it.
Okay, so you're saying it is political persecution for Hunter Biden as well. Okay, so now you're just saying that anybody who remains in political office or has any political ties who commits a crime should be the victim of political persecution, and that's nonsense. And I would actually disagree. Hunter Biden was not the victim of political persecution. You shouldn't be saying he is. That's disgusting. And Donald Trump, on the other hand, let's talk about him, right? Donald Trump was found guilty on 34 felony counts from a unanimous jury appointed by his own lawyers. He paid Republican lawyers to appoint a jury, and that jury still found him guilty. Okay, so let's recognize here there was no political persecution, because his lawyers would then be the ones who politically persecuted him. He paid them. Did he pay people to politically persecute him? Like, that doesn't make sense. So, you know, off that, let's get back into this. You're voting for the criminal because?
First of all, economy. Second of all, the wall. Third
How long have you been in America for?
5 years. Since
5 years, and you want to talk about the economy when you weren't even here for Donald Trump's first term?
Yes, I was here actually. I texted
you just said that you weren't here. Raymond, I want to say massive thank you.
Here 5 years ago.
He's kicking the ladder fine. Thank you so much, Raymond, for the $10. I appreciate the love. Raymond wants me to tell you that he thinks you're dumb.
Thank you. Like, I see how the left work. Like, you guys.
Oh my gosh, Katie! Whoa, Katie! Thank you so much for the $50. That is so nice. Jay, keep talking. People are sending funds to support me as I travel across the swing state of Pennsylvania, meeting Democrats to turn out the vote for Kamala. You're basically electing Kamala Harris just by speaking your ignorance. So continue, Jay. Continue. Thank you so much, Katie, and thank you, Christy. I appreciate the love so much. Thank you, Chandler. Wow, Jay, W's Jay in the chat. Can we get some W's for Jay in the chat? Jay, thank you. You're helping us flip the swing state of PA. I appreciate it. Okay, so let's get back into it. Why are you voting for a criminal? Can you tell me one economic policy that Donald Trump passed that benefited middle-class Americans?
First of all, a large tax cut, no tax on
Okay, what was the tax cut? Excuse me. First off, take a step back. So maybe you're new to this language, but ED and ING, I'm talking about past tense, not future tense. So when you say no tax on tips, which mind you is a policy that Kamala is also running on, and is a policy that was introduced by Bernie Sanders. No, Donald Trump took it from Bernie Sanders, which is a socialist. So before you advocate for socialism for your candidate, not a smart move, mind you. In America, we don't do well with socialism. We're a bunch of capitalists. Let's not advocate on that. So now I'm going to ask you again for the ED. I need a past tense policy. One policy that Donald Trump passed that economically benefited middle class Americans during his first term. Go ahead.
The 2017 Tax Cut Act.
Okay, what was the tax cut that Donald Trump gave to corporations? I need a percentage.
To corporations, 0.29%. To the top 1%. Yes.
What was the percentage that Donald Trump gave to corporations? This is a double digit. I appreciate the script you're reading, but this ain't it.
I'm not reading in a script. I'm just saying the
listen,
same, like, you also have a script in front of you, so I'm just using your same weapons.
My notebook? This is a script? I'm rewriting what we're talking about so I don't repeat myself. This ain't a script. I have something called intelligence. I just use my brain. So what was the double-digit tax cut that Donald Trump gave to corporations?
It's so basic of
Excuse me. Corporation tax cut. Don't pivot. Give it. Double-digit. Let's go.
It was non-double-digit. He just reduced the tax.
Everybody in the chat is telling you what it is. Look at the chat. The chat's trying to help you. Look at the chat. And then repeat. They have it right. The chat is correct. Both sides of the aisle are telling you what it is. Both MAGA Republicans and Democrats alike are telling you what the percentage is, and you're too ignorant to look at the chat. Look at the chat. They're helping you. 14%. It's the top comment. Oh my gosh.
40%.
So corporations got 14%. You said that they got 0.29%. They got 0.2% of 1% of a tax cut. Really? Okay, so 14% was the corporate tax deduction. What was the middle class tax deduction?
The tax deduction was from, I will have to look it up, but it was from...
Oh my God! It was 1 to 2%. You brought up this policy. You brought up this policy? And you don't know the tax cuts that came along with it? Is this a joke?
I have to look at
Hold on.
I don't know what is
Hold on. Don't go clickety clacketing on your keyboard. Get your hands off your fucking keyboard. Are you out of your mind? So it was 1 to 2% to the middle class, 14% as a corporate tax deduction. Can you justify why Donald Trump gave a 14% permanent tax deduction to corporations, but 1 to 2% to the middle class, and that expires next year? Explain that discrepancy in the policy.
Of course, when you give corporations...
Don't have your voice squeaking on me now. I don't need the whole getting nervous on me. Don't play that game. Michelle, thank you so much for the $20. I appreciate the love. Thank you so much, Michelle.
Nervous. What are you talking about?
Yeah, your voice is squeaking. You're hesitating. You're saying, You're saying I'm aggressive. Get over it. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps and tell me why there's a discrepancy in the policy. Let's go.
Because corporations know how to handle...
Don't you dare raise your voice on me. Answer the question.
Dude, can someone talk to you without you getting offended?
Let's go. Hurry up.
So when he gives that tax cut to the corporations, they receive more money so they can invest it on their own growth, on how they grow. So that means that they could hire more, they could expand more, and they could get more people to work for them. So in the long run, that would benefit the lower class or the middle class, how you like to call it. Okay?
You're talking about trickle-down economics, really? Yeah, I get you. I get that you're new to America. I get that. Let's understand something. For those of us who have been here for a while, trickle-down economics didn't work in the 80s with Ronald Reagan. Yeah, that led to a recession under George H.W. Bush, a Republican. Mind you, that ain't George H.W. Bush's fault, and may he rest in peace. Good man. He was a good man. Ronald Reagan caused that recession and passed it off to George H.W. Bush. Then you have George W. Bush, the son of George H.W. Bush, not a good man like his dad. And what does he do? What does he do? What does he do? Causes a recession and a market crash with trickle-down economics. So let's better understand that. Apparently, third time ain't the charm. Apparently, 3 strikes you're out, and that's why Donald Trump lost his election in 2020, because we don't like trickle-down economics. But do you have an instance? Hey. Do you have an instance of trickle-down economics working? Let's go. Tell me about an instance of trickle-down economics working. I'll wait.
Easy. When Donald Trump was in office, everything was great.
No.
We have the Donald Trump...
Who was it great for? Was it great for the middle class who got an $8 trillion debt increase and who had a $230 billion tax hike from Donald Trump's tariffs on agriculture? Who did better? Who did better? Hold on. You said everything was great. You said everything was great.
So are you comparing...
Maybe I stuttered. So again, it wasn't good for the middle class, wasn't good for agriculture farmers, wasn't good for small businesses. Now I asked you for an instance of trickle-down economics working. Apparently you thought I was gonna, what? I was asking a rhetorical? I wasn't. Yeah, I was asking you for the instance of trickle-down working. You want to tell me? Let's go.
Yeah, during Donald Trump period.
Didn't happen. No, instead the debt went up $8 trillion and taxes went up $230 billion. So tell me again, is that trickle-down economics at work? Or was it trickle-down economics when PepsiCo benefited from the 14% corporate tax deduction and then increased costs on Gatorade? Or Kroger, who benefited from the 14% corporate tax deduction and then increased costs across the board? They just admitted this 6 weeks ago to price gouging. Was that trickle-down economics at work? Because that sounds like trickle-up economics. And yet the trickle-up starts at the top and just keeps going up.
Prices is still being lower than what it is right now. I'm so sorry.
What? What is the inflation rate today? Don't sit here apologizing. Get a spine. What is the inflation rate today?
The inflation rate today is at 2 point something, but it's still not 1.4 that it was with Donald Trump.
It's 2.1.
Oh, there you go. After being at
what is the inflation rate? Excuse me. Pre-pandemic, after the effects of Obama's economy, so that we could credit Donald Trump for what he deserves. Pre-pandemic, because we're not going to blame Donald Trump for the 9% inflation rate. We don't do that here. That's not okay. What was Donald Trump's inflation rate in 2018 after the effects of Barack Obama's economy, right? Because Barack Obama had that 1% inflation rate you're talking about. We're not going to credit Donald Trump for that. We also ain't going to credit him for the 9% inflation rate during the pandemic. That's not okay. So what was the inflation rate in 2018? This is when you should have felt the effects of Donald Trump's economy. What was it?
It was, I think it started at 2.7.
No, that's too high. Back it up.
It was 1.2.
No, that's too low. Let's go again. Third time's a charm. Come on.
It was somewhere between the line.
2.4.
Inflation.
So 2.4% inflation rate under Donald Trump. 2.1% right now. So if inflation is lower than it was than mid of Donald Trump's economy, you tell me, why are costs of the grocery store still high? Let's go.
It's still high because of the amount of money that they have spent, and they don't know.
That
how to
makes
handle
zero
economy.
sense. You're saying that because of overspending, which, mind you, there was no overspending. And if you're advocating for overspending, look no further than Congress. Kamala Harris and Joe Biden don't allocate spending. They're the executive branch. You understand? The legislative branch has access to that funding, and they're currently controlled by a Republican Speaker of the House. So if you're saying that costs at the grocery store are high due to spending, then you'd be blaming Mike Johnson and advocating for a Democratic Congress. Again, you're not helping yourself here. You just made the case to vote for a Democrat like Hakeem Jeffries so that we could replace Mike Johnson. You want to keep at it? Let's go, man. You're not helping yourself. So help me better understand this. 2.1% is the inflation rate today. 2.4% was the inflation rate under Donald Trump. Why are grocery costs still like high at the grocery store? And this time, don't say it's due to spending, because that would mean that your Republican Speaker of the House caused that. Now, Kamala and Joe, go ahead, whenever you're ready.
What do you want me to answer? Because like you talk.
You don't know how to answer. That's fine. Grocery costs are high for two words: corporate greed, price gouging.
Oh my God.
Shrinkflation and inflation, greedflation. Look at Kroger. Kroger just 6 weeks ago admitted to price gouging at a double-digit percentile, far higher than the 2.1% inflation rate. Look at PepsiCo. PepsiCo increased the cost on Gatorade. It is now 4 ounces smaller than it was, but far more expensive. So they shrunk it down. That's shrinkflation. They increased the cost. That's greedflation. That is why. So Kamala has a plan to ban that practice outright. No more price gouging. She says you're going to be on par with inflation. And that's a good thing because, and I've done the math on this, as have the economists, that will lead to record high profits for corporations and cheaper costs at the grocery store for middle class consumers. Donald Trump has no plan to ban price gouging. Can you tell us why?
You know,
why doesn't Donald Trump have a plan to ban price gouging? Go ahead.
No, not at all. Because price gouging only creates like lower production. It creates deficit on the market, and it creates like the product.
So now you're making the case why we should ban price gouging. So
no,
you're saying
we shouldn't do it at all.
You just said that price gouging leads to deficits. It leads to lower production. Great. Again, Kamala's going to ban price gouging.
She wants to implement
you just said that price gouging leads to a deficit. And I said Kamala's going to ban the practice. So you just made the case that we should vote for Kamala.
Actually, she's the one who's going to.
That doesn't make any sense because Kamala's the one who has a policy to ban price gouging. Donald Trump don't. So what is Donald Trump's policy to ban price? Like, does Donald Trump have a policy to ban price gouging? Go on. I'll wait.
No.
But what is Donald Trump's policy?
He won't do any because he will let.
Oh, right. He won't do any. Okay. So again, let's better understand this. So you're saying that Kamala Harris, who is going to ban price gouging, is right to do so because you said price gouging creates a deficit. Man, I agree with you. I agree. I can't believe I'm saying this. I agree with the MAGA Republican. And Donald Trump has no policy to ban price gouging. So obviously, you don't want to vote for Donald Trump.
Not even that.
So let's get off of the economy. Can you tell me?
I know what you do
What
with
is Donald Trump's
with the border.
Pardon me. I'm not talking about the border. And if you want to talk about what you're going to do with the border, trust me, it's going to start by Donald Trump throwing you back over that wall. So let's get into this. So the 60% tariff on China and the 20% tariff across the board, what is that going to lead to when Donald Trump implements those tariffs? Do you know?
First of all, the tariff that Donald Trump implemented did not affect the way that the economy as you guys claiming. Second of all,
stop the stuttering, take a breath, pick yourself up by the bootstraps and repeat that, but this time do it coherently. Have no idea what you just said.
If you
and I ain't trying to interpret.
If you could stop talking like an echo chamber and listen to other people instead of being on your own bubble, maybe that would go better. But I say one sentence and then you said a whole paragraph.
You're not saying a sentence. Nobody understands what you're saying. Pick yourself up by the bootstraps and repeat it coherently. Have a little behind your words, man. Nobody understands what you're saying. Teresa, thank you so much for the $10. I appreciate the love. Thank you, Teresa. Can you hurry up and repeat it again, but this time try to do it coherently? Thank you.
So the tariff, usually Donald Trump used it to get better deals for American. He would not implement a 20% in all the.
He said he will. He said 60% tariff on China, 20% across the board. What's that going to lead to? I'm not asking you if he is or isn't going to do that. He just said yesterday in an interview that those are the tariffs he wants to increase. Now you tell me, what is that going to lead to? Go ahead.
He's not going to implement that. He's going to use the tariff. He always used it to like get a better trade economics from the country. So that means that we would create the same amount of business in other countries that other countries create.
I don't want the same
here.
amount of business. I want more business, man. What are you talking about? So Donald Trump's going to put a 60% tariff on China, 20% across the board. He's going to re-implement tariffs like the 15 to 25% tariff on agriculture that led to a $230 billion tax hike on produce. That also caused farmers to close their doors. They lost China as an export market, had a surplus in supply and demand issue. Costs were passed off to me. Costs were passed off to the chat. You weren't here for this. You weren't an American yet. So you weren't here and maybe you don't remember. Costs were passed off to me in the chat though, and we're not going back. So let me better understand this then. The 60% tariff, the 20% tariff, the additional tariffs across the board is going to lead to a $3 trillion tax hike on middle-class Americans and an additional $2,500 to $3,900 coming out of the pockets of me and the people in this chat every single year. Can you justify why you want to hike up our taxes? Go ahead.
I don't want to hike up your taxes.
Well, apparently you do because you voted for Trump.
No, I don't. And by the way, are you talking about taxes when your candidate is promoted?
The tariffs? Tariffs are a tax hike on the middle class. Did you not know that?
God.
Did you not know that? Tariffs are a tax hike on the middle class. So you knew? You didn't know that?
Yes, I knew. But
Okay.
Donald Trump will not implement that amount of tariff that you're
He said
saying.
he's going to.
Yeah,
he said it
he's
yesterday.
going to, but
he
that-
said,
that-
you just said he's not going to do that. He said yesterday he's going to do these exact numbers. So why are you telling me something different? Are you Donald Trump?
I know those exact numbers. And what I'm telling you is he's going to use it to negotiate better deals for the trade.
No,
for
you
the
want to
trade
talk
deficit
about
that we have.
manufacturing. You're saying that these tariffs are going to lead to manufacturing, and you're suggesting that we should throw the middle class under the bus to bring manufacturing back to America, but that doesn't make any sense, man. That don't make any sense. You're suggesting that the middle class should make up the difference and hike up their own costs and pay more out of pocket in taxes so that Donald Trump could bring back manufacturing. Like, I hear you, man. I hear you. That doesn't make any sense because Kamala Harris and Joe Biden brought manufacturing back to America with the Chips and Science Act. And then they created double the amount of jobs that Donald Trump created on a monthly average that did not consist of pandemic jobs created or lost. And yet they didn't play with tariffs to do so. They played with legislation. So let's not beat around the bush on this. You're saying that by throwing the middle class off of the high horse, by taking money out of their pockets and having them pay more out of taxes, that will, in the long term, bring manufacturing back. Kamala and Joe did it right from the get-go with the Chips and Science Act, right? With the infrastructure package. Created tens of thousands of good-paying jobs. Brought chip manufacturing back to America. Created hundreds of thousands of jobs in the science industry, in the tech industry. So what are you talking about? Why do you want to take money from the middle class so bad, man? Why do you want to rip us off?
I don't want no money from there. That's your candidate who's saying that she would tax.
That doesn't make any sense.
Oh my God. But at the end, she would fuck up the middle class like Democrats always do. Now,
What are you talking about? The Democrats always do? Hold on, let's get this right. So Bill Clinton, the Democrat who got us out of the recession that the Republicans started, or Barack Obama, the Democrat who got us out of the market crash that the Republicans started, or Joe Biden, the Democrat who got us out of the crappy pandemic response that Donald Trump started. Oh yeah, Democrats are always screwing us over. No. Democrats fix the stuff, and then you throw us back into garbage. That's what you Republicans do. So let me understand this. Why do you want to take money out of the pockets of middle-class Americans so bad, huh?
I don't want to take any money from the middle class.
It seems like you do. You're advocating for Donald Trump. I don't want a $230 billion tax hike, but that's what he gave us with his tariffs. I don't want an $8 trillion debt, but that's what he gave us with his tax cuts for corporations.
Oh my God, why do you have to blame everything on corporations?
It's not me blaming. This is what Donald Trump did. This is what it did. It's not a blame. It's what he did. So help me better. That's like saying, why are you blaming Donald Trump for taking transgender Americans out of the military? Because he did, right? So let's get back into this. Let's talk about the border. I'm sure this will be a fun subject with you, Jay. What is Donald Trump's border policy? Let's go.
First of all, mass deportation.
What is mass deportation?
Mass deportation. Look for all the criminals. First of all, as Itiban says, they're gonna secure all the criminals that have entered.
How are you going to do that?
That we have.
How are you going to do it?
The numbers that they have already, and they're gonna keep searching for it. If they have to use, if
you're
they have to
advocating
use
for deportation, and that's already underway. I'm not asking you about deportation, man. Maybe I stuttered. Deportation, we've been doing that since what? Kennedy? I'm asking you what we're gonna do with mass deportation. What is that process?
With mass deportation, like find all the illegals that have entered the border and deport them and send them back.
Yeah, thanks for the repeat.
Not in 1 year.
Thanks for the repeat. How are you gonna do that?
Like I'm telling you, like using the National Guard or whatever they have to use.
There you go. So you want to weaponize the military against their own citizens, having the National Guard knock on the doors of small businesses and homeowners. Now you're saying it. Yeah, you got caught there. Yeah, it hurts. Yeah, it hurts. I'm gonna explain what you're saying.
It doesn't hurt at all.
To everybody, what Jay is saying is that he's going to use the National Guard and weaponize it against its own citizens, the enemy from within that Donald Trump is talking about, and prosecute. Excuse me, Jay. Maybe I stuttered, but he's going to prosecute citizens with the National Guard to seek if they're harboring illegal immigrants. That's what Jay just said. So Jay's saying that mass deportation, excuse me, Jay. Jay's saying that the process of mass deportation includes the National Guard knocking on the doors of citizens and small businesses to check their books and documents to see if they're harboring illegal immigrants. Jay, if they are, what do you do then?
It's not like that. And first of all,
no, that is what it is. You just said so. Don't go back now. Don't go back now. Don't go back now. No. No, don't go back now. Don't go back now. So tell me again, that is the process of mass deportation. After you find an illegal immigrant, let's say you got a family and they have a chef. Yeah, and the chef is an illegal immigrant. He's been here since the age of 3. I wasn't done. Was I done? No, I wasn't done. Yeah. Oh, what? I wasn't done. So again, you have an illegal immigrant. Let's say the illegal immigrant is the chef for this family. Yeah. Oh, he ran away. Oh, we got a runner. Let's get some cow emojis in the chat. Let's get some cow emojis in the chat. Oh my gosh. I want to say a massive thank you to Michelle. A massive thank you to Kay and Yvette. Thank you so much for the $25. That is beyond kind. Thank you so much for the love, Yvette. I appreciate the love. Thank you so much. Jennifer as well. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Y'all are too kind. Listen. Again, folks, I try, you know. I think we gotta be honest with ourselves. If we're gonna talk about Donald Trump's record, we gotta own up to that, right? You can't beat around the bush on this stuff. If you're voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request. Let's have a conversation. Stephanie, thank you so much for the love on Cash App. I appreciate it, folks. Thank you for the support. Hello, guest. You voting for Donald Trump? All right, let's move on. If you are voting for Donald Trump, get on into the guest request. Let's have a conversation about it. Don't be shy. Come on up. Hello, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Yes, sir.
All right. Why are you voting for a convicted felon? Why are you voting for a rapist? Why do you hate women?
Because he is not a convicted felon. He is.
Who says? You? Where'd you get your degree?
Actually, I've been 63 years in.
That's congrats. You could be 63 years in a retirement home. I don't care. So again, where's your degree from?
IBEW 77 local.
Oh, IBEW. You're talking about the electrical union.
Correct.
Yeah, I was a union steward for the IBEW. You're welcome. Let's get some union power in the chat, by the way. Do we got all our union folks on here? Where's our union folks? I want to see some W unions in the chat. So you're voting against your own interest by voting for a felon who wants to strip away the rights of union workers, who says that you can work a full-time job and not earn a living wage. Yeah, make that make sense. I want to better understand, though, on the candidate. You said he's not a felon. You say that?
He is not yet. He is not convicted.
He's convicted on 34 felony counts.
He was charged. He has not been convicted.
No, maybe you missed something. He was convicted on 34 felony counts. You understand that?
I do, but he has not been sentenced.
Convicted means he's a felon. Yeah?
Correct.
There you go. Now we're on the same page. Now we got there, man. Now we got there, John. Man, John, you're making me look bad. Change your name, man. I'm going to call you Jack. I'm going to call you Jack. I'm John. I'm going to call you Jack. You're making us Johns look bad. So, Jack, let me better understand this. You have Donald Trump. You're now saying he is indeed a felon. You know he's out on bail. He's awaiting sentencing. Why are you voting for a felon who was also found liable with sexual abuse and found liable with civil fraud? You know, my mom and my pop, they taught me real young. You respect women, but you're up here saying what? You want to, vote for somebody who raped a woman? Come on, man. Do better than that.
Really?
Yeah, do better than that.
That's where you're going to go with that.
Did I stutter? Oh, I'm sorry. Let me repeat that, man, because apparently you're hard of hearing. So let's get back on here. Donald Trump, right, raped a woman. Did I stutter that time? No.
You did.
So he was found liable of raping a woman. Why are you voting for that?
Well, how do you vote for Clinton when he fucking did...
Vote for Clinton? Dude, I ain't voting for Clinton.
Really?
Who's Clinton? Who Who's Clinton? Who are you talking about?
That's right. You're too young to know that.
Clinton, talking about Clinton. Yeah, all right, listen, it's a little early to be sundowning, man. The candidates here are Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. Clinton.
Okay.
Clinton. Let's talk about Clinton. Yo, you know what? You're right. Hey, you're right. Let's bring up Nixon. Yeah, why are you voting for Nixon? I don't care. So why are you voting for a felon? Let's go. Hurry up.
Because I believe he's the best candidate for our policies.
All right, man. So next time I ask you, right, what your favorite food is, don't say, I like the edible kind of food. I need you to give me a list of ingredients, man. What's going on here? Why are you playing with me, man? Let's go. Give me the recipe. I need to know more about this, right?
Okay.
Darlene, I want to first off, I want to say a massive thank you to Darlene. Darlene just sent $50 to support me as I elect Democrats around the swing state of Pennsylvania as I do my travels. Darlene, thank you so much for the love. And John, Darlene had Jack, Darlene had a message for you. She wants you to know that she hates you. So you're welcome.
That's
and so,
fine.
Jack, thank you for being so easily hateable. It's because of you that we're electing more Democrats. So Jack, tell me again.
Support you too as
Jack,
well.
yeah. Jack, why are you voting for the criminal, man?
Because I don't believe he's a criminal.
Yeah, we just went through this. You agreed he is a felon. So why are you voting for the criminal?
Because I believe he's better than Kamala Harris.
Can you break that down? Once again, man, I need some more context here, right? Why am I pulling at your teeth? Or whatever teeth you got left, Mr. Two-Buck.
Tell me what her policies are, and I would respectfully say, hey, this is where I'll go with it.
Yeah, you're voting for Donald Trump, you said, right?
I already did, yes.
Okay. Oh, what, you want a sticker? You
No.
want a sticker? You want a cookie?
No, I just
Yeah,
want to
wait,
know-
hold on. Hold on, let me see if I got a cookie here. Hold on, let me see if I got a cookie. I don't have a cookie. Let me check if I have a fuck to give. No, sorry, got none. Sorry, man, can't spare one. So let me get this right then. You said that you voted for a felon, but you want to hear about Kamala's policies. Tell me one policy that Donald Trump passed that economically benefited the middle class, and I'll entertain that, and I'll tell you about her policies. Go ahead.
A 1.2% increase on my taxes as a blue collar.
You saying he increased your taxes? You just said a 1.2% increase on your taxes. You're advocating for Donald Trump increasing your taxes?
Yes,
Damn.
1.2%. He did.
Let's just all take a moment. What? Yo, y'all hear what he just said? He just said that Donald Trump increased his taxes. He said that Donald Trump increased his taxes by 1.2%. Do I even got to do anything else here? Do I even got to do anything else here? There's no way. Nah, there's no way, man. There ain't no way. Ain't no way. I know for a fact that didn't just happen. I know for a fact that did not just happen. I know for a fact that didn't just happen, man. What? Jack, come on, man. Unmute. Let me help you out here, Jack. Come on, unmute. Come on, Jack, unmute. Let me help you out here, man. You have a mute button. Click your profile photo. You click unmute. Let me help you out here. Come on. I feel like we're being punked right now. Where's my magic wand? Are we gonna have to hocus pocus you out of here, John? Come on, Jack, unmute. Let's go. Jack, you got all of 10 seconds to unmute. Let's go, man. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, folks, on the count of 3, comment hocus pocus in the chat, and we're going to make the little conspiracy theorist who just advocated for his own tax hike out of the live. 3, 2, 1. Hocus pocus. Poof. Yo, do we all recognize that he just said he was voting for Donald Trump because Donald Trump increased his taxes? Man, sometimes you don't even got to say anything to these Trumpers. They do it all on their own. That was dumb. Folks, if you want to support me, my Venmo, PayPal, Cash App are in my bio. I use those funds as I travel along the swing state of Pennsylvania, meeting voters. We're in the last stretch, so if you do want to support me, that's the best way to do it. Or if you want to hit that follow button in the top left corner, join our little family. We'd love to have you as part of our community we got going on. Jordan, how you doing, man?
Doing good.
Darlene, thank you for the galaxy. I appreciate it, darling. Thank you, man. Jordan, so why are you voting for Donald Trump?
He is the better candidate that will protect the rights of the Americans.
Yeah, like what right? So, and that was rhetorical.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, I am going to answer. I am going to answer. Blah, 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 blah. You just said, am I going to answer? Yeah, I am going to answer, right? Without you talking over me. I don't need to. Hey, blah, 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 blah. I don't need to hear that squeaky voice in the background. I just am answering what you said. I don't need to hear the squeaky voice in the background. Stay on mute for a minute.
Ask me a question.
Blah, blah. Okay. All right, tone it down. So again,
Yeah, I'm
you're
just
talking
saying.
about, man, what's
an
with the
answer.
aggressive unmuting? Get a little respect here. Reginald, thank you for the $25. I appreciate the love. Thank you so much, Reginald. Let's get a little respect here, right? You just said that Donald Trump was protecting freedoms. For who? Huh? Women?
Everyone. All
No,
Americans.
no. So let me answer this. Women?
Censorship.
Women?
Yes.
Oh
They're
yeah,
women.
yeah. Like what? Like the right to choose? Donald Trump stripped that away in its entirety.
No,
so
he
look
gave
at
that to
women
the
like
states. He
I'm
didn't strip it
speaking,
away.
man. For the final time, when I put you on mute, if you unmute again, you're getting kicked immediately. You understand? That was your pre-warning, and now you're out. Goodbye. You want to unmute again? You want to talk about freedom? Your candidate stripped away the rights of women. He stripped away Roe v. Wade, which was the law of the land for 50 years, leading women like Kate Cox to have to seek an abortion out of state. You want to force women out of their communities?
Okay, listen.
I'm not talking to you yet. Wait a minute. And then you look at the rights of Second Amendment, entrepreneurs, Second Amendment enthusiasts. I'm a Second Amendment Democrat. I love my Second Amendment. I don't like when people touch my Second Amendment. I got a problem with that. And you MAGA Republicans keep trying to gaslight people like me into thinking that Kamala's coming for a Second Amendment. Hasn't once. She's been in office 4 years. Hasn't touched her Second Amendment. Not once, man. Donald Trump violates my Second Amendment with his bump stock ban. That's my right. Violates my right. His own Supreme Court overturns it in June of this year, marking him as the first constitutional violator to seek the presidency in modern history. Yeah? Yeah? Huh? You just want to talk about my rights? Yeah, all right. Let's keep playing this. All right. Now I'm talking to you, man. Why are you voting for Donald Trump?
Because he's gonna stop war at Ukraine and at Lebanon.
Dude, where's your accent from?
What? Mine? Like
Yeah.
from Denmark.
All right. Are you voting?
Like I'm half American.
Are you eligible to vote?
Yo. Yes.
All right. Is that a yes or a no?
Yeah, yes, of course.
Okay, what state are you from?
I'm from New York.
What time is it?
Right now?
Yeah.
What should I tell you?
Yeah, you don't know. The next time a European comes up to my channel and tells me who I should vote for, I'm gonna toss a bucket of tea in the Boston Harbor and teach y'all who's boss. Because apparently it's time for another Boston Tea Party. Who's down for a little Boston Tea Party in the chat? Y'all down? Who wants to go? Maybe we could get Donald Trump to ship us to Boston the same way he shipped those insurrectionists to the Capitol. Tara, you on? Tara, come on. Where you at? Let's go. Tara, you got 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. All right, Tara, goodbye. Let's get up our next guest. Come up here and tell me I should vote for Donald Trump from fucking Denmark. Yeah, if I wanted to hear from a bunch of socialists. Sophia, why are you voting for Donald Trump? And they ran away. Let's get up our next guest. Hello, you voting for Donald Trump?
You hear me?
Yeah, but I wish I couldn't. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Yeah, I am.
All right, you want to wake up? Yo, slap yourself in the face a little bit. Yeah, hit the alarm. Let's go. Come on, get a little in your step. Come on, wake up. So why are you voting for a criminal?
Because I'm not going to vote for somebody that promises a ceasefire in one state. And
Oh, you don't want a ceasefire?
Israel.
You don't want a ceasefire?
No. What I'm saying is,
do you want a ceasefire or not, man?
Can I?
What you can do is answer the question. You want a ceasefire or not?
Are you going to talk?
Yeah, I am going to talk over you. You want a ceasefire or not?
I do, but Kamala.
All right, there you go. So Kamala's your candidate.
Kamala has said.
But she wants a ceasefire. That's what she said. No, you may not. Kamala said she wants a ceasefire. You understand that?
And then she said the exact opposite thing.
No, she did not. She said she wants a ceasefire.
Yes, she did. The exact opposite thing in Pennsylvania.
Wrong.
That's not wrong.
Wrong.
You can
she said
literally pull it up
ceasefire.
yourself.
She said ceasefire, two-state solution, man.
And then she said
ceasefire, two-state solution. She said ceasefire, two-state solution. I was at that Pennsylvania rally. Stop playing with me. I'm a Pennsylvanian. Don't play with me, man. She said ceasefire, two-state solution.
What are you talking about?
Take a step back. Take a step back. She said ceasefire, two-state solution. If you don't know that, you look it up. Yeah? Google's free, man. You all act like Google has $100 subscription fee.
About?
Google it if you don't know. Hey, tone it back.
That she's going to support Israel.
Hey.
She said she's going to do two things.
Hey, you're confused. So Kamala Harris said she's going to allow Israel to further its right to defend itself. She has to do that. Israel's our fucking ally. Yep. All right. Then Kamala said, we're going to advocate for diplomacy, have a ceasefire deal and a two-state solution. We're going to bring the hostages home. She's never changed that. Donald Trump, no ceasefire, no two-state solution. What is Donald Trump's solution to the conflict between Israel and Gaza? You tell me. Let's go.
What does that have to? You asked me.
Oh, what does Donald Trump's solution have to do with the conflict? What is Donald Trump's solution to the conflict between Israel and Gaza?
That is not what you came in.
I'm asking you right now. What is his solution to the conflict between Israel and Gaza? If you don't know, say that. If you don't know, say it. Right? Oh, and you run away. Okay. Let's get some cow emojis in the chat, please. Moo! We got a runner. Moo! Yo, we got a runner right now. We got a runner. Herd the cattle, everybody. All right. He goes, what does that have to do? Dude, you're voting for Donald Trump. If you don't know what he's going to do to end the conflict between Israel and Gaza, go Google it. Yeah, Google's free. Y'all acting like Google is $100 subscription fee. Stacy, I want to say a massive thank you for the $5 and the message. That's awesome. And Megan as well. Thank you for the $5 on Cash App. I appreciate the support, folks. Thank you so much. Hello, guest. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Avery, how old are you?
18.
You're a first-time voter? When were you born?
Why does that matter?
All right. Hold on one sec. Let me fix the mic. Fetus deletus! Poof. And she's gone. Let's get up our next guest. Again, if you're voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request. Let's have a conversation about it. Yo, Chris Bacon. Chris goes, wait, Google's free? Yeah, Google's free, man. Who knew? I know, it's crazy, right? All these Trumpers thinking that Google has the same fee, like the same way that Elon Musk is hiking up those subscription fees on Twitter Blue or whatever he calls that shit now. And he's like, yeah, it's like an $8 subscription. These people act like Google has like a $20 subscription fee. Russell, hey, you voting for Donald Trump?
I am 100%.
All right, buddy, let's tone it back. It's not that exciting to vote for a rapist. Lisa, thank you so much for the $20. I appreciate it, Lisa. Thank you so much.
Me standing here?
Blah, 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 blah. I wasn't done talking yet. So why are you voting for the sexual abuser, civil fraudster, and felon?
Prove he's sexual abuser. What proof do you have that he's a sexual abuser? Come on.
Darlene, thank you so much for the galaxy. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the love. Let's better understand this. Donald Trump appointed a jury, right? Donald Trump paid lawyers. You understand that?
Yep,
and these lawyers appointed the jury. You understand that?
Show me a.
Wait, I'm not. We're getting there. Go ahead. Go ahead. We're getting there. Donald Trump paid lawyers, yes or no?
Yes.
These lawyers appointed the jury, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. This jury found Donald Trump liable of sexual abuse, yes or no?
No.
The answer is yes. Go look it up. Hold on. We'll wait. Man. Hold on. Give me a second. Give me a second, man. Sit with me. All right. Go look it up. You have 15 seconds. Go look it up. Go on. Let's go, buddy. Go look it up. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Nowhere here on Google does it prove or say that he was proven guilty.
Yeah, I got CNBC, NBC, Fox News. I even got Breitbart saying found liable of sexual abuse. NPR, AP News, CNN News, MSNBC News. I also have third world agencies. We got Washington Examiner up here. That's a right leading source. You got HuffPost. You got Washington Post. So again, you tell me. Everybody says he is in fact liable of sexual abuse. The New York Times. So what'd you look up? Hey, what'd you look up? What'd you look up? What'd you look up? What'd you look up on Google? What'd you look up on Google? Huh?
You're a dick.
Wait, cry more. Blah blah blah. Tell me something I don't know. What'd you look up on Google?
And you wonder why.
What'd you look up on Google? Man, did I stutter?
On Google is Trump guilty.
All right, you know what? Maybe. Hey, who's screaming in the background? Is that your kid?
It's my grandson. Leave him out of this.
You want to step out of this then? You want to maybe go pay attention to your grandson? Yeah, because it seems like he wants your attention.
No,
just a thought.
He's playing, dude.
Yeah, maybe you should go play with him instead of trying to argue with somebody online about your own delusions. Donald Trump was found liable of sexual abuse. Kamala Harris is going to take care of your grandson, right? Kamala Harris, the $6,000 personal child tax credit for your children. Hey, Russell, I'm gonna do you a favor, and better yet, I'm gonna do your grandson a favor. Go play with your grandson, okay? And don't sit here playing with me about why you think that, oh, you know, your candidate's not a sexual abuser. He was found liable of sexual abuse. Go play with your grandson, man. It's Saturday, right? Go play with your kids. Maybe then your kids won't hate you later. Man, you have your grandson screaming in the background. He's basically begging you for attention. Like, what is that, man? Santa, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Depends. Are you voting for Trump?
I am not. I wanted to come on here and say you are fucking hilarious. And you have made my day so much better. I'm enjoying
Hey, I
this.
appreciate that. Thank you so much. I appreciate you coming up. Thank you for the love. I hope you have a good Saturday, okay?
Of course, you too.
All right, folks, let's get up our next guest. If you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request. Let's have a conversation about it. Man, I can't believe that guy Russell comes up here. He has his grandson screaming in the background, begging for fucking attention, and he's like, "Hey, let me ignore my grandson." But at least put him into daycare, man. At least then he'll get a little bit of attention out of somebody. It's wild. And then you MAGA Republicans ask later and say, "Why don't my kids talk to me?" Maybe because you don't talk to them. All right, let's get up our next guest. Man, that's some wild stuff. Can we get some clown emojis in the chat for Russell, by the way, please? Let's get some clown emojis in the chat. Gotta get some priorities straight here. Harry, hey, how you doing?
I'm doing amazing. How are you doing?
Doing good. Where's the accent from, man?
I'm following your lives in the Dominican Republic, but I want to say congratulations with a good job that you are doing.
Oh, you're friendly. Gotcha, man. I thought you were about to say you're voting for Trump. Man, I appreciate the love. I appreciate the love, man. Thank you so much for coming up.
I was laughing at Mr. Russell, who doesn't have information about what he was saying.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for coming up. Folks, we are looking to talk to opposition right now. If you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request. We're going to have a conversation. If you're voting for Kamala Harris, please hit that like button, hit the share button, help us get to 500,000 likes. I feel like statistically speaking, I am a numbers guy. Probably by about 11:24, we could get to 500,000 likes. So if everybody's tapping on their screen, that'd be awesome. Thank you for the Cowboy app, by the way. Patty, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. You voting for Donald Trump?
Hell no.
Let's get some W patties in the chat, please, folks. I am just looking to talk to some opposition right now. If you're voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request. Spicy, how you doing?
Hello.
You voting for Donald Trump?
Yeah.
What? Yo, you want a Nokia 1999 or something?
You're doing a good job, and I think that you're off Kamala Harris this Friday. And I just wanted to tell you that you're amazing.
Oh, thank you so much for the love. I appreciate it. Folks, again, I want to make sure that I'm just talking to opposition here so that I'm not up here roasting, like, you know, our community. Again, folks, if you are voting for Kamala, please retract your request to join the live. We are going to be talking to Kamala supporters later today. Right now, we are just talking to Trump supporters. Alex, how you doing, man?
Good. How are you?
Doing good. You voting for Donald Trump?
I think so.
Man, that's fucking gross. All right, why are you voting for the felon?
You know, his foreign affairs policies are better than Kamala's. But I also got a question for you.
Nah, let's talk about that, man.
No,
let's get back into it. Yeah,
I got a question. When I first tuned in, you were talking about...
Maybe I mistook you. Maybe you thought that you were going to cut me off and start talking. No, we're going to talk about foreign policy, man. We ain't going to pivot. So foreign policy, what is Donald Trump's solution to end the conflict between Ukraine and Russia? Go ahead. Apparently you thought I was the one. Yeah, I ain't the one. You ain't going to cut me off. Let's go. Get into it. Come on. Let's go. I'll mute. I ain't got all day. What's the solution to end the conflict between Ukraine and Russia? You've had more than enough time to Google this as you sat in my guest request. Hurry up, man.
No, I got a question.
Yeah, I don't care if you got a question for my ass. I still ain't answering it.
You were
So tell me
talking
again,
about Donald
what
Trump
is
wants
the
to take away the
solution?
Second
All right,
Amendment.
maybe again, you're still talking about this. We'll get to the Second Amendment. Right now, I'm asking about foreign policy. What is Donald Trump's solution to end the conflict between Ukraine and Russia? Answer that, man. You seem to think that I'm
First
really
of all,
not going to have an answer.
I don't really care. I don't really care about Ukraine and Russia. I think we should stop funding them.
You don't have a
Yeah.
choice. You just said you want to stop
We should
funding
stop
Ukraine.
funding them.
Oh, okay. What happens when you
Kamala
do
just
that?
wants to keep funding them, keep funding them.
Kamala's not funding them. Mike Johnson, the Republican Speaker
Come
of the
on.
House, he funds them.
$174
Hold on.
billion
Who holds
over
the
the last
wallet?
4 years.
Who holds the wallet in Congress?
$174
Who
billion
holds the wallet
over
in
the
Congress?
last 4 years.
Who holds the wallet in
As a
Congress?
president and a
Who
vice president,
holds the
you should-
wallet in
you should have
Congress?
control over that.
All right, let's set a term here. You ain't just gonna keep talking about nonsense over me. We're not gonna skip the points you're making when they're that ignorant.
You've been doing it
Who
the whole time.
holds the
You've been doing it
wallet
your whole
in
time.
Congress? Who
You've
holds
been doing
it?
it the whole
This is
time.
your last chance, man. This is your last warning.
I don't give
Who
a
holds
fuck
the
if it's my
Congress?
last
All
chance.
right.
You've been doing
Peace.
it.
Goodbye. You waited 30 minutes in my guest request just to what? Stutter, cry, and get kicked after 30 seconds? 30 minutes in my guest request so you could get 30 seconds to cry. Congratulations. Silly, hey, how you voting? Are you voting for Donald Trump? Silly, you got 3 seconds to respond. 3, 2, 1. All right, Silly. Peace out. Man, these Trumpers, man. That guy didn't even know who holds the wallet. He goes, Kamala's sending 100 million, 100 billion, whatever dollars. Kamala can't send the cent. That's Mike Johnson, your Republican Speaker of the House.
Sorry,
Donna, how you doing?
I joined accidentally. Sorry.
You're good, you're good. Let's get up our next guest. If you're voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request. Let's have a conversation about it. Who's our next victim? Guest. Who's our next guest? Guest. Danielle, hey, you voting for Donald Trump?
Yes, I am.
Gotcha. So are you proud to be ignorant? I'm sorry, that's not what I meant. I apologize. I meant, why are you voting for Donald Trump?
Because I think that when he was in the last 4 years, he did a pretty damn good job.
Oh, yeah. For who? Because it wasn't for women. Women walked away with less rights than they had 4 years before Donald Trump, right? It wasn't for union workers. Their rights were under attack through and through. Or it wasn't better for transgender Americans. They were stripped right out of the military. Speaking of, do you have military service?
Yes, I do.
Thank you for your service. Are you advocating for stripping transgender Americans out of the military who want to put their lives on the line to defend all of ours?
Sure, if they want to join, I don't see why they can't.
Well, your candidate, Donald Trump, says that they can't join, and you're saying they can. So that's discrepancy one. Then we again look at what? Who benefited from Donald Trump's economy? It wasn't middle-class Americans. They had a $230 billion tax hike and an $8 trillion debt by the end of Donald Trump's term. It wasn't small businesses. They had a produce cost increase that they had to pass off to middle-class consumers, so they lost the market. Yeah, farmers lost China as an export market, had a surplus in supply and demand issue under Donald Trump. So who did better under Donald Trump's term? You tell me, man.
I feel we all did. I disagree with everything.
Yeah, you don't get to disagree with history, though, right? You're entitled to your opinion. You're not entitled to your own facts. The facts are the facts. You don't get to change them. So why are you voting for a criminal? Break it down. Let's go. Can you hurry up?
Are we supposed to have a conversation? Or
Can you hurry up and respond? Why are you voting for Donald Trump? Trying to give you a chance to speak, and you're crying. If you do keep crying, can you cry into this cup?
I have that right.
Hey, did you hear what he said? Did you hear what he said? Are you going to run away? Hey, Danielle, if you keep crying, Danielle, if you keep crying, can you do me a favor and cry into this cup? Because we could save the tears and send them to Utah for their next drought. Yep. Oh, I caught one. I caught your tears. Oh, there's another one. I caught it. Oh, there it goes. I got another tear. All right, so why are you voting for the criminal? And this time, say something coherent. Like, break it down. Give me like some sort of information on this, right? All right, Danielle's running away. Let's get up our next guest. She ain't even speaking anymore. Oh my God. Folks, if you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request. Let's have a conversation. They're not saying, what is this? They come up, they're like, yeah, I'm voting for Donald Trump because I think he's the best candidate. Obviously, if you're voting for Donald Trump, that's because you think he's the best candidate. Can you break down why you're voting for Donald Trump? Like, give a reason, yeah? Man, I don't know why it's so hard. I know it's painful. Intelligence hurts sometimes. Let's get up our next guest. If you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request. Let's have a conversation about it. I want to hear from you. All right, let's play some Jeopardy music as we try to find the MAGA Republican. Let's see how long it takes. Oh wow, these MAGA Republicans are really running. All right, maybe this one. There we go. Took long enough. All right, why are you voting for Donald Trump?
No, I'm voting for Kamala.
You know what? I should have known. I should have known you were voting for Kamala because you actually had a spine to come talk to me. Trumpers, they don't have a spine. I tell Trumpers to come talk to me and they go fleeing away. Kamala supporters at least have a spine, right? Trumpers. Let's get some W Kamalas in the chat, by the way. Let's get some W Kamalas for our next president of the United States, our next Madam President. All right, this guy ain't coming up. See, there's another Trumper for you. Thank you so much for the galaxy. Thank you, Chrissy. I appreciate the love. Hello, guest. Are you voting for Don? Up, and they ran away. Wow, shocker, shocker, shocker. That's so shocking. I'm so shocked. I'm so deeply shocked that the MAGA Trumper ran away. Man, if I had a nickel. If I had a nickel. Hello, guys. Are you voting for Donald Trump?
I'm not.
All right, folks, if you are voting for Donald Trump, come on up and let's have a discussion about it. If you're voting for Kamala Harris, please hit that like button, hit the share button, help us get to 500,000 likes. We are almost there, so please tap on your screen. Thank you for the galaxy as well. Thank you, folks, for helping us reach the live goal. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the love. Guess you voting for Donald Trump?
Yes.
Gotcha. And why do you hate America? I'm sorry. Why are you voting for Donald Trump?
Because he'll do America better than Kamala will.
Than Kamala?
Yes.
Yeah, literacy ain't your first strength, is it, bud? Marrying your first cousin, though. I said, literacy ain't your first strength, is it, Buzz? But maybe marrying your first cousin is. Sorry, maybe I stuttered for you. So tell me again, why are you voting for the criminal?
How can I speak? How can I talk when you're going to just sit here and throw insults to
I ain't insult you. I ain't insult you. I ain't insult you. Yeah, I ain't insult you. Don't be so sensitive. Why are you voting for the criminal?
Sensitive. I
want to say a massive thank you to Linda and Justin for the love, and also a massive thank you to Nora for the $20 on PayPal. That is incredibly kind. Thank you so much. Can you answer the question?
Be a normal person.
Hurry up!
What's the question?
It was, why are you voting for Trump?
Because I want this country to be great again.
Dude. That's like me asking you what's your favorite kind of food and you saying, I like the edible kind. But I need you to break down a recipe and some ingredients here, man.
I want the border secured.
Hold on, what you just said? Think about it this way. What you just said is the same thing you MAGA Republicans criticize people for. You're like, Kamala supporters only want to vote for Kamala because she's a black woman. Never have I heard a Kamala supporter saying voting for Kamala just because she's a black woman. But you MAGA Republicans run around saying nonsense like, I'm voting for Donald Trump because he's going to make America great again. Talk about some policy here, man. Talk about something of substance.
Secure the border and no wars. How about that?
Right, what does secure the border mean?
What do you mean?
What do you mean, what do I mean? How are you going to secure the border, man?
The border was secure until your boy Biden came in with all his executive orders.
What are you talking about? All right. What is Donald Trump's policy to secure the border? What's Donald Trump's policy? What is Donald Trump's What is Donald Trump's policy to secure the border? Yeah, I don't respect people who strip away the rights of women. Sorry to break it to you, man. You want respect? Be respectful to women and give them the right to choose. Take a step back. What is Donald Trump's policy to secure the border? You're just going to keep gaslighting. All right, here's what we're going to do. Because apparently you can't shut yourself up, so I'll do it for you. What is Donald Trump's policy? There you go. Shut up. What is Donald Trump's policy to secure the border? The next words to come out of your mouth better be the policy that Donald Trump's going to pass to secure the border. Hurry up. Let's go. I'm going all day.
I can't answer your question when you're a moron.
You can't answer the question?
You
understand? I have nothing written on my notebook now because you haven't provided a single thing of substance.
Look,
not a single
thing. I swim in liberal tears.
Dude,
I swim in your tears.
Cry more, man. Whenever you're ready, we could have a conversation. You keep crying, though. Get out of your system, man. Go on, get out of your system. You keep crying. Let's go. Whenever you're ready, we're going to count to 5, and then we're going to have a conversation here, all right? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, let's have a conversation now. You ready, Pookie? So tell me again, why are you voting for Donald Trump?
Stronger border policy.
Great. How is he going to secure the border? What's his policy?
He's going to shut it down.
Well, that's not a policy, man. What is his policy?
What's his policy? It's gonna be, what do you mean, what's his policy?
What do you mean, what do I mean, what's his policy? What's his policy? Did I stutter?
You're a clown. Look at you.
What's the policy? What's the policy? Who's the clown here? The one who's not saying the policy, or the one who's asking you to tell him the policy? I'm saying, tell me the policy. You're the one over here going, instead of just telling me the policy. What's the policy? Policy, let's go. Come on.
I can't have a conversation with
All right,
him.
we're gonna move on. Man, you just sundowning at this point, man. I'm gonna recommend that instead of coming onto a live stream, you ought to seek some therapy. Let's get up our next guest. I go, name a policy. He doesn't name a policy. Goes, he's going to secure the border. That ain't a policy. What's the policy? Goes, he's going to secure the border again. All right, don't repeat yourself, bucko. What's the policy? Marge, how you doing?
Hey, baby, what's going on?
Not much. Just enjoying Saturday. How about you?
Same old, same old.
Yeah. So you're voting for Trump?
Hell no.
That's awesome. Mark, I am just looking to talk some opposition right now. I appreciate you coming up. Hope you have a good one, okay? I appreciate it. Thank you for the love. Thank you for coming up. Let's get up our next guest, folks. If you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request. Let's get some W Marges in the chat, by the way. Some W's for Marge, please. I should have known she wasn't a Trumper. She was nice. Trumpers don't know a thing about kindness. Carmen, thank you so much for the $25. I appreciate the love. Thank you so much, Carmen. Jordan, hey, you voting for Donald Trump? Jordan, you got 3 seconds to answer. 3, 2, 1, moving on. Sorry, guys, if the air conditioner gets a little annoying, just let me know. I got it going on in the background. Noor, hello, you voting for Donald Trump? Guess not. Oh, sorry. I guess I'm going out of order here. Who just said that they were waiting an hour? Let me get you up. I'm sorry, my friend. I guess I went out of order. Hold on, let me get up P.O. I apologize, man. I didn't know you were waiting that long. P.O., you said that you were waiting over an hour to come talk to me, man?
I feel like I was, yeah.
Yeah, I'm so sorry to hear about that. And sorry to waste your time, too. The same way that you wasted the time of women by voting away their right to choose. I'm glad to take that hour of your time. You have a good one, and you keep waiting. Let's get up our next guest. If you are voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request, and let's have a conversation about it. Tell me you waited an hour, like I give a fuck. If you're voting for Donald Trump, join the guest request, and let's have a conversation about it, all right? Tell me I waited an hour. Yeah, and women waited decades to get their right to choose until you stripped it away. Keep playing with me, though, huh? Waited an hour to come talk to you. Oh.
What's up, man?
Keep waiting. Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How you doing?
Doing good. You voted for Trump?
I am.
All right, why so?
Because he supports my tax bracket. Yeah. And I do want to say.
Hold on. So what you're doing is coming up here to tell the middle-class Americans in this channel that they should pay more in their taxes so that your tax bracket as a rich American can be supported. Yeah? All right. Let's get up our next guest. Goes because my tax bracket will be supported. Yeah, all right. Notice how he didn't say middle-class taxes. Because he knows that Donald Trump is going to hike up middle-class taxes to pay for his tax cut right there. Yeah, that was funny. That was funny. Not on my life, man. F you too. Nora, thank you so much for the $20. I appreciate the love, Nora. Thank you so much. Guest, how you doing?
Hey, good, man. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Happy Saturday. You voting for Donald Trump?
Happy Saturday. So, dude, I wanted to talk a conversation because I am 51% Donald Trump right now, but it's not secure. Maybe I need some more enlightenment. And I know you're obviously Kamala, which is fine.
I mean, come on. Most of the country is Kamala, aren't they? Yeah.
I think it's kind of close-ish, no?
No. So why are you voting? Why are you leaning towards Donald Trump right now?
Okay, well, for simple reasons. I like how he speaks the truth. This guy can't really be censored, which is nice, and I feel like that could have some bonus to it.
Some bonus? Again, like what?
Like we all know what's actually going on. On the back end, we're kept hidden from a lot of stuff, dude.
You didn't know what was going on. What are you talking about? Under Donald Trump? You didn't know what was going on. Donald Trump wasn't talking about anything of substance. He'd wake up screaming at 3 a.m. as he shat on his gold toilet. He wasn't talking to you about foreign policy. He was talking to you about sharks and batteries.
I mean, okay, so when he was there was COVID. And COVID's a time where you can't really judge too much. Everything was wonk.
Yeah, but my statement stands. Donald Trump didn't tell us anything of substance. Donald Trump didn't tell us that, oh, the pandemic's worse than it is. He said it was going to be over by Easter. It wasn't. But yet we now know that he knew it wasn't going to be over by Easter. So why are we playing? Right?
Yeah, I guess you're right. And they always want to keep your hopes up, right? That's all they can do. Look at all
Yeah, I
the
don't want him to keep my hopes up. I want him to tell me the truth. I don't need hope. I need facts.
You do.